It's me, Joey. This is Derek Eastfeld.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of the golden age of gear.
Yes, because we actually have a name for our podcast now.
Yeah, we named it, and I like it.
Me too.
I haven't seen any comments of people not liking it.
No. I don't. YouTube's funny. Like, you see, like in the back end of YouTube, you can see if people dislike something. So I see dislikes on some of our videos, and I'm always like, I really want to know, what did you not like about it? So if you could leave a link or drop a comment about what you don't like about what we do, I would love to hear what we're doing that's bad.
I personally don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, well.
Keep it to yourself.
No, don't. Tell me. You know what? Just send your messages to me and be like, you suck, and this is dog shit, so stop doing it.
Yeah, you can just send those complaints straight to derekeastfeld@hotmail.com.
Yes.
But mail is spelled M-A-L-E.
That's right.
And send your complaints over to there.
Yes, I'll get back to you immediately.
Immediately, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's also his email for his OnlyFans account, so.
Yes. Man, imagine if we could make money on OnlyFans.
I mean, dude, you and I could make a killing off of OnlyFans. It's just, I'd be into it. I just don't know that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more conservative than me.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do anything.
We'll
for
talk
money.
about the content, what content has to be, and then we'll figure out. I bet.
Be like Kenny versus Spenny, but
Yeah.
anyway. So today, we've got. What am I going to talk about today?
It's your turn.
I'm going to talk about this guitar today.
Nice.
You sounded like Schwarzenegger there for a second.
Nice. I like guitars.
This is a Lumiere guitar made by some new internet friends that I made down in Argentina. Buenos
Lumiere,
Aires.
like Beauty and the Beast, like the
like
candle guy?
French for light.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, that guy from
Yeah.
the Beast. That's
Sweet.
also something called Lumiere.
Yes.
So I don't know if anyone here is familiar with a guitar player named Jim Campilongo. He is. I don't really know his history. First time I saw him play was in New York City. We were on tour, and we were playing Rockwood Music Hall, and he was playing the other room in the venue.
Okay.
And we finished our show, and I said, I want to catch some music tonight. What should I do? It was like one of my first times in New York. And the guy said, well, you're a guitar player. Go no further than next door, because you'll hear some of the greatest guitar playing you've ever heard in your life. And he was not wrong. And I actually, sort of rewind the tape. I remember an issue of Guitar Player magazine talking about Tele players.
Okay.
And they featured, Roy Buchanan and all the sort of famous Tele guys and Keith Richards, whatever. But they also had Jim Campilongo in there. But in his photo, he was like holding a note and had his arm behind his back.
Yeah.
And I thought that he only had one arm. And so I was like, whoa, that is dope. Like, and they're absolutely singing this dude's praises. I wonder how he plays all that crazy chicken picking stuff with only one arm. And so when I went to see him play at Rockwood Music Hall that night, he had two arms. I was super weirded out.
You're like, this is bullshit.
I was like,
I was sold a bad bill of goods on this one.
yeah, he's good for a one-armed guitar player, but no, he's wonderful. And the reason that I'm talking about Jim Campilongo is because he, at least to my knowledge, is very well known for playing vintage Teles.
Okay.
And he did a signature guitar with Lumiere.
Cool.
And so I thought, if Jim Campilongo is going to do a signature guitar, a signature Tele with a company, then they got to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I got in touch and I ordered, I actually ordered two guitars. So this one came before Christmas and the other one's on its way. Yeah, it's super fun. The specs are, Rafa, just the guy who built it, he sent me the list of specs because, as you know, I'm not a big specs guy. But
Right.
The top is 100-year-old yellow pine. So it's kind of like tribute to the original Fender Teles.
Nice.
Which were built out of pine. It's incredibly resonant and it's pretty special. The neck and the back are made of wood. Spanish spruce, and then the pickups are wound in Buenos Aires. So this is like a fully Argentinian
Very cool.
guitar, and I really, really love it. It's super fun. And I kind of, when I got in touch and said, hey, I'd like a guitar, we just first started talking about one guitar, and then they talked me into two guitars. And so the other guitar that I have coming is like a more standard blackguard kind of thing. But this guitar is more like what they do. They do kind of a, you know,
like thin line, like
well,
or
just,
like
yeah, and
hollow
they
T.
yeah, and different pickups, and
Yeah.
they kind of do like the modified Tele, but like, you know, the herringbone is really
Yeah.
beautifully done and everything. You know, unfortunately, Winnipeg is an incredibly dry place, so the fretwork was pristine until the guitar had been here for like 3 days.
Yeah.
and then the fret ends are just sticking out. So that happens on everything. Single
I
guitar
mean,
I own.
This is one of my like newer guitars. Like I got it, I think this year, and it's a Tom Anderson, and it same
Razor
thing,
blades,
right?
bud.
Like it. I mean, one of the highest end guitars in the world, or I should say, like one of the highest end luthiers in the world, and even it gets a little bit of. It's not bad actually, but I have some other guitars in here that you would cut your hand,
Yeah.
like shred your hands on. But
Yeah.
the joys of living in a place where we go from, you know, plus 35 in the summer to like minus 50 in the winter. And somehow we have like...
That's Kelvin, by the way.
Yeah. In the last, like, right before Christmas, it went to like plus 2 Celsius or plus 3 Celsius, and then right back down to like negative 25 or minus 25. So
It's a tough climate for guitars. But hey, you know, cost of living's low. That's what I always say.
yeah,
You know, it's a... Anyway, so...
you can skate to work.
yeah.
Bonus, right?
I wish that weren't true, but you actually can. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool.
I'll play it.
Yeah.
Right now, going through the D20, and then I have a Kingsley Troubadour, which is like a 5E3 Tweed Deluxe preamp kind of pedal, which I think is that.
You know, it sounds amazing, right? And acoustically in the room, like you guys are hearing it through a direct signal with your pedals, but acoustically in the room, it sounds so good, and it's projecting really well because of the fact that it's like semi-hollow, right?
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. Like I've never heard of this brand. The things that caught my eye the most about it right away. Number one, I really like the swallow. Like I think it's a swallow, like the bird that's part of the logo.
Yeah.
And something that I've never seen on electric guitars is if you move your arm, I love the fact that they're doing like the old school, like Yamaha Martin style, like they've got their logo inside the sound, like the F hole, but like the sound hole. And they've got like a little decal or decal in there that, like just like nice little touches like that. And you're 100% right. Like, the first thing that I noticed about it was the herringbone on the binding. It's
really, really good work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful instrument. It's a really beautiful instrument, and I only have one other Tele. I have a Chad Underwood built Tele, which is really, really fantastic.
Yep.
Actually, no, that's not true. What am I talking about? I got a lot of Teles, but this thing has just blown me away. I was really looking forward to having a guitar like this in my collection because I don't have a plethora of cool Tele style guitars. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, it'd be cool to have something that does something unique and whatever. But I picked it up and I haven't been able to put it back down.
Do you have any Teles with benders in them?
I do, yeah.
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 Oh yeah, you've got that.
I got the Mule.
The Mule. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I don't know how to play it, and I don't know where it is right now. Like, I have a few Telecasters. Normally, I go for just, like, very straightforward, like, just a stock US-style Tele, but I actually don't own any Fender Telecasters. Right. They're all, you know, built by
clones.
Some other, some other
for lack
luthier.
of a better,
Yeah.
Excuse
but
me.
I have one with a bender, and I have a couple that are like humbucker in the neck and then single coil in the bridge that I still am not 100% sure if I love that yet.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of new to me. But I don't have any like hollow T's, and Do you know his Murray's? I can't remember if his Tom Anderson was a hollow T.
I think it is.
I think it is. And
Yeah.
he lent it to us. We did like a Tom Anderson kind of shootout on our live stream. And it was amazing to me how much how much different a hollow T sounded compared to like a solid body Telecaster.
Yeah.
So of course, like right away, I was like, oh, I don't have one of these. Like, I need this sound.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't need this sound right now. I'm not going to use it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's gorgeous. Can I try it?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Oh, you don't have to. All right, so you're going to ruin your tuning. I don't know where I'm going to put this right now. Let me do this with it. Is that a bad spot for it? That's a bad spot for it, hey?
Here, I'll turn off the slap delay. I don't know. Do you want that gainy on there?
Yeah, yeah.
Now you get to experience my action. I got
Flat lounds are interesting too.
flats and 12s on there, so
Yeah, the neck feels really good. I like the shape. It's
Yeah.
not too fat, because that's one of my complaints about Teles is that if they get a little too wide and too fat, like it just feels too much like a baseball bat.
yeah.
I don't mind if it's a fat neck if it's narrow. That's okay, but no, this feels great.
Yeah, it's a nice neck.
The action's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Nice.
Like I can play it not well, but I can. The mini buckers are cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. They sound really, really good. Sound really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't listened to any Jim Campilongo,
I have not.
oh man, there's I mean, all of his records are great, but the one that I kind of got really into after seeing him for the first time was a record called Orange.
Yep.
And the opening song is this tune called Backburner, something like that. And it just rocks so hard.
Okay, I'll definitely have to check him out.
And then the next song is like a solo chord melody piece. He's super versatile and such a beautiful guitar player. It's just like, and it's like him plugged into a Princeton, I'm pretty sure, Princeton reverb.
Okay.
And it's just guitar at its absolute finest.
Yeah.
So
That's gorgeous, man.
yeah, I love it.
I like this, so we'll see if we can get a close up of this that you guys can read. I'm getting older, so it's even hard for me to read. But I like that. So it says like 100-year-old pine with the heart of Buenos Aires, or heart and soul of Buenos Aires.
That's cool.
On the headstock.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, very cool. I was like, what's that say?
I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool instrument. So, did you just first hear of this company because of Jim?
yeah. Yeah, I saw him announce on his Instagram page that he had done this guitar, and then my first thought was like, if there's a company making a guitar that Jim wants to put his name on, then
Yeah.
it's got to be something special, and it is. It really, really is. And that's not to take away from other Tele builders, because I know there are lots of people doing really great things, but this guitar is just, these guys really know what they're doing in terms of building the instruments that they build.
Yeah. I mean, the fit and finish, like everything here is flawless.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The first thing that happened was Joni was like, "Oh, nice new guitar, Daddy. Can I see your pick?" And I was like, "Oh." I mean,
Yeah.
I beat the snot out of my stuff.
Yeah.
And that's an unfortunately well-known fact by people who are sort of close.
Yep.
They know I'm hard on stuff, but to not be the first person to put the first dings in it always sucks, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son, Max, is around Joni's age. Like he's turning 4 in a couple of weeks, and he comes to visit here, and he'll immediately be like, I go play guitar, and I'm like, let me go find out what guitar you're gonna go try to play. And I'll come in here and he'll grab like the Novo or something, and I'm like, let's find you something else.
Yeah.
like
Find you something with a thicker finish on
yeah,
it. Yeah.
let's find something that if you break it, your dad's not going to cry.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. I've never heard of that brand, but like the amount of guitar companies that are out. Like at NAMM, have you ever been through the like the boutique guitar showcase? Is that what it's called? I think it's called like the boutique guitar showcase or the boutique builders or something like that. And they have all of these like ridiculously high-end luthiers from around the world. Like you'll get like Nick Huber, if you've ever played any of his stuff. Guys like him, or like Sheldon Dingwall will be in there with all of the Dingwall basses. And yeah, you're seeing more and more companies like, I don't know if they'll be at, like if Lumiere will be at NAMM, but you'll see more and more companies like that pop up because they just have to, I don't know how much it costs because NAMM's always expensive, but they'll just have like a table that has like 8 of their best pieces that they've done. And that's one of my favorite things to do at NAMM is to go see like what are the weird things that you just never would get a chance to see anywhere else because no store is going to have this.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's kind of like, that's the point of this sort of podcast is and the name, the Golden Age of Gear, like we're living in a really cool time specifically for the guitar because it's, I think, with the not advent, that's the wrong word, but with the way that the internet has sort of pushed the guitar industry, it's like marketing yourself is less about finding something that's going to appeal to every person, every man, and it's more about finding something that it's like you lean into the niche, and like even I always talk about this, but like at the beginning of my band, there was always people giving us feedback like the band is good, but it's not this enough, it's not that enough, it's not this enough, and thankfully we had either the stubbornness or the foresight, more likely the latter, to sort of buck against that. But I think that's kind of like, that's the thing that gives you longevity now, is like lean into the weird little niches that you're interested in and make your marketing plan about finding the people who have the same interests as you, instead of trying to find something that appeals to everybody. That's somebody else's game, and that's like the bigger guitar companies, they can do that and they should do that. And that's what, Gibson and Fender and you name it, that was from an older time and they truly did build timeless things. Yeah. I don't think that's what the world's all about right now.
No, I love your point that you make there because, we've thought a lot about this because as you're developing new products, like you start to look at the market and it's near impossible as a sales and marketing guy to not look at it and go like, okay, like this is the hot thing right now. Like this is what everybody's doing. And, modeling is this thing that everybody is chasing and chasing convenience. And it's really easy to get caught in this spot where you're just chasing what other people have done. And when you look at the majority of people, at least whenever I'm looking at either bands or gear brands, the people who have success are the people who like long-term success and have some longevity. They're the people who are passionate about something and they chase down their passion and they'll do it whether or not they're making money and being successful at it or not. Like it's the thing that is in them and it drives them to do. And I find where companies get really, in the weeds is when they lose that and they start to go, okay, I'm going to go do, I'm going to go do something else. Cause we get asked a lot about, things that, I'm not saying we'll never do it, but we get asked a lot about doing like bass products. So like, when are we going to do a bass preamp or a bass amp? And I'm like, man, like we're just not like, the guys at Revv that are involved, at the kind of the top level of the company, which makes it sound like it's a big company, but like those of us that are involved with product development, none of us are bass players and none of us are passionate about it.
And you all agree that the bass is super easy.
That's right.
And it sucks.
It's for guitar player dropouts.
Yeah.
Until you meet a real bass player. So.
Well, and the real bass player is just trying to be a guitar player on the bass.
That's right.
Man.
Yeah. Your brother's gonna watch this and slap you in the face.
He knows all the I don't actually hate bass players, but I just think it's funny to rip on them.
Yes, I agree.
This would change the name of the podcast to Joey Says Controversial Things. Okay, hear me out.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think that that's true of music, of anything, that like if you chase down what you're passionate about, the internet has now provided us the ability to find the people out there that are also passionate about it. So it's not like you have to sell out and become some like very pop or mainstream thing or artist in order to have success, like you would have had to, you know, from the 60s to the 90s.
Yeah.
Essentially, you don't have to chase down that trend. You can do the thing that you love, and there are going to be people that resonates with.
There's an actual middle class in music artistry now, where it used to either be you're a hobbyist who does it for fun, or you're a superstar. There's not really there wasn't really an in between, but there is now. You know.
Yeah.
I had somebody, a friend of mine, ask me if I was interested in. Are you on the market for a Dumble? Because there's one for a good price for $200,000. I was like, what? I was like, I can't afford a Dumble. Shout out to Evan. Thank you. Love you. Yeah. Anyways, maybe we'll edit that out. But yeah, I couldn't. Well, I mean, we're agreeing right now, so I'm not going to say we couldn't agree more on that because we already clearly do. But and but the thing I want to add is I think that is the key to a lot of success now, or to longevity, like you said.
Yeah.
Is to chase the things that you're interested in. Like if you're doing something that you would do regardless of making money, then you're on the right path. Because like I would make the music that I'm making whether or not I was doing it for a living. I would probably do it a lot less because I'd be busy doing a day job.
Yep.
And I wouldn't do it like I would play guitar regardless if there are people there to watch.
Right.
You know? And like when we go and put on a show, this is not like I play the same if I'm playing in front of a room full of people or if there's nobody at the show. I play the same because it's not obviously it's nice to have energy to feed off of.
Yeah.
But I don't, that's not what I do it for in the first place. So anyway, I love this guitar. I think it's really, really great. And they're really great people. And they were a joy to deal with. And I got a load of packing material.
Nice.
To pack up the pedals that I've been selling.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should check out Joey's Reverb. Reverb.com/Joey Landreth.
I actually sold everything already.
What?
Yeah. Everything's pretty much sold.
Nice. Well,
so keep
any
your eyes
brands
peeled.
Joey's Joey's going to need some new gear to try out because he sold all of his pedals. Because kids got to eat. So
hey,
yeah, very cool. So check out Lumiere Guitars, and yeah, it's awesome, man. I think it looks great. Definitely interested to check out your other one when it comes in.
Yeah, I'll bring it by.
Sweet. All right.
Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we will see you next time on The Golden Age of Gear with Derek and Joey.
Cheers.